earlier than I am. I think that's where my problem is. You know, trying to fucking hang on the brakes a bit too late. Yeah, I'm back in the pits. Right, I'm just going for a piss. Might take my head for a shit while I'm there. Back in a minute.
I mean, it doesn't help I'm carrying 50 litres on board, but fuck it. Screen sharing.
I pressed the wrong button.
Oh.
Oh, fuck's sake. Oh, jeez.
Have I got the steering ratio correct? Is that why it's feeling shit?
I've just thought there was no lunchbox in there, bar the lid.
Yeah. What are you doing? Yeah, Mummy's doing you more food. You have to eat it. There's juice there, your food is in. No.
I'm back.
Oh, Mike, I come up with an idea.
Hang on. Now I'm back, and I didn't rip my fucking ear thing out of my ear.
I come up with an idea for next year.
That's what come out.
Do you remember me? I mentioned something to you the other week. Sorry, I mentioned something to you the other week about using SimGrid as sign-ups instead of the sign-up sheets.
You got Peony with you.
Yeah. So I found a way we can do it.
Sorry, I missed that. I was
Doing the SimGrid as the sign-up sheets, not using our sign-up sheets.
Right.
The way we'd get around it is on SimGrid, we'd do it where we'd have an unlimited amount of drivers just able to join one thing.
No, I disagree, and I'll tell you why. Because they won't go to the Discord and they won't read the rules.
Well, it's as simple as that. We remove them if they haven't. Same as...
I'd just remove the sign-ups from it and just manually add them.
Oh, no, I can do that. I'm just thinking there's been a lot of confusion over people over that endurance stuff at the weekend. It was like, why have we got to sign up a second time?
Yeah, but you put it in the description. If you don't sign up on Discord, you will be removed. If they can't read, fuck them.
Yeah, no, what I'm saying is...
Yeah, but you're just doubling up your work. It's up to you. You're doubling up your work.
Oh, no, there's no doubling up, because I've slowly got to manually add them into the groups as it is. Why is there?
Because I have the sign-up sheet to have all of their data so I can set the driver entry.
We can still see that, because we could take the entry list via a JSON file on SimGrid.
But what do they sign up for, Pro or Pro-Am?
This is what I'm saying.
You've got to jumble them up between it.
This is what I've just said. We take a generic one, unlimited drivers, where everybody signs up. That's your practice lobby entry list. Because we've had a lot of drivers for this endurance stuff confused as to why they've got to sign up a second time.
Well, they've just got to fucking read. That's the problem we have with most of the issues with rules, is fuckers won't read. Look at Smokey tonight. If you don't react, you won't be in. He hasn't reacted. He's clearly not fucking read
I'm not saying we don't do that. We can still monitor who has read the rules and who hasn't. It was just a suggestion. You was just a suggestion because we've had a lot of problems with people questioning why they've got to sign up twice.
But they haven't. The thing
No,
says
but their
sign
thing,
up
yeah,
on
but
Discord.
what they're saying is they've signed up on SimGrid. Why have they
Doesn't
got to
matter.
redo
The
a sign up?
description, because the description states sign up on Discord. That's why. Even FRL goes sign up on Discord.
No, FRO you sign up on SimGrid.
Ah! Oh, fuck's sake. I'm not fucking concentrating now. It's up to you if you want to do that, Matt, but SimGrid's one of the, other than getting drivers in, it's one of the worst fucking things for people signing up because they're not reading. Because those who've signed up message you or however and then go, oh, I didn't know I had to go on Discord and sign the rules. The description says that. If they can't read that, then they're not going to read the fucking rules or anything else.
Yeah, so then that's where they don't get put into the groups, isn't it? Is
yeah,
what
but that's the whole point of it. So they don't get put in a group if they haven't done it. Otherwise, you're just going to see a load signed up and then have to chase them. Whereas now, you just leave it. If they moan, okay, well, have you read the description? Sign up on Discord. And that's it. That's all you have to say to them. If you read the description, sign up on Discord. Right.
Good luck. Who the
Thanks, Matt.
fuck is in the comms box?
We just told you.
Look,
PN.
where's everyone's part?
Gives a shit.
Turn the volume up.
Don't even know where my phone is. Got it. Yeah, I've got it.
Me having that open then.
You coming? Yeah, come on then.
Can you see the screen?
Yeah,
Sweet. We had a commentator let us down at last minute, so I was meant to race.
yeah, I know, because you're in the driver lobby.
Yeah. And Mike's a dickhead.
Because he couldn't be bothered to restart and just had me in as spectator.
Well, no, because he's also not added Smokey because of Smokey confirmed too late.
Right, so I think I do what I want.
Mm-hmm. Floyd, don't matter. Don't matter. Don't matter.
I'm turning this off and this off and fuck the pad users. And
Well, I've got my own server now, so fuck him.
if you be on pad, well, Oh really? Are you going to pay for my game then? And my electric? And my PSN?
We'll go live in 2 minutes. I'm not coming live straight away.
I'm just thinking, what have I got to watch my broadcast on? I've got it on. You know, as a viewer. Gary joins you on Prime. Have I forgot to charge this? I have. Oh no, it wasn't charged.
If Mike wants to question why we're not live, well, he can fucking do it himself.
Well,
we're not live because I've at last minute try and sort everything out.
Well, yeah, get a commentator, and it's like I can't get in on the server anyway because I'm not on the entry list. So I can't look at different battles, can I?
Yeah, I don't care. I'm already pissed off at the fact we had 10 sim play drivers. If I protect don't get in, we've got fucking 8. You know. Or 9, should I say. What's the fucking point?
I can't drive these without stability control. To be a little bit of traction control. I can't drive them much anymore.
Floyd, shut your door! Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Simplay Motorsport, back here for the finale of the Simplay Motorsport versus Team FBR battle. I'm your host, Matthew Duffin, joined in the box by PM Motorsport. Good evening, PM.
Good evening, Matt.
First of all, just like to start off by congratulating FBR really on what has been a fantastic series for them. They've taken the race win. They cannot be caught, so FBR win this little trio of battles between their channel and Simplay Motorsport's channel. So congratulations to Team FBR in what has been a little poor showing from some of the Simplay Motorsport drivers here today. There is, I do believe, Emmanuel is out there with Cloud and Dan Davis, Jason Island, Mike Matthews, Playerman, Sky Schundelmeyer, DJ Phil and Gary Leach. Ignore myself on there. I was meant to be participating. Last minute changes in the commentary meant that I've had to jump into the comms box. So there is only, 8, 9 drivers in the session for Simplay. It's not really the showing we've seen from the Simplay drivers. But you have to tip your hats to the Team FBR boys. They've been fantastic, showed up in their numbers, and have really been a great value for their money this 3 weeks.
Yeah, well, it was only 1 week where we had all 15 drivers to Simplay anyway, wasn't it? That was last week in the GT4s.
Yeah. We're currently at Mazzano, though, in the Porsche Cup cars then for this finale of this Team FBR versus Simplay Motorsport series. It is the series of 3 where we've had the GT3s at Red Bull Ring, we've had the GT4s at Donington Park, and we end it here at Mazzano in the Porsche Cup cars. If you remember rightly, back in our first Porsche Cup series, we ended the season here at Mazzano as well, which has been absolutely fantastic to see. We are currently seeing Emmanuel Machado out on provisional pole at the moment, ahead of Adrian and then Michael for Team FBR. Jamal Clouden is currently P4 for the Team Simplay drivers, with Sully and RB Racing bringing up the next couple as RB Racing goes for a little slide across the circuit. Then it is Dan Davis, the runner-up in the Porsche Cup cars. It's a shame we've not got Fury out there, PN, because Fury was really dominant for during season 1 of Simplay Motorsport in their Porsche Cup series.
Yeah, well, he won pretty much every race, didn't he? Did our Fury, so yeah, been interesting, but he's not here. I don't know what's happened on Discord because other reasons.
After Dan Davis is Sky Schundelmeyer, then it is Jason Island, Sky Schundelmeyer, then Jason Island. Mike Matthews then comes P10 with GT Jimbo 11th, Sam is P12, Borough Bex is 13th place with Diz in P14, Lawrence is then in 15th, Nuke Waste from Rob, then it is Playerman. Nuke Waste actually, Mick has just gone and put a time in P16, Playerman, Michael, Carrot, DJ Phil and Gary Leach. Gary's just coming to the timing lines now and managed to put in a time good enough for P12. Porsche Carrera Cup cars, OPN. They're an interesting car to get your hands on.
Yeah, well, it's missing something very important which I need.
Traction control.
Yeah, I can't drive these at all, especially on a pad. So I don't. I think there's probably one pad user we've got out there. DJ
Phil, that I'm aware of, but I don't know who the Team FBR boys have at their disposal or on pads. So it is Emmanuel Machado who is currently on pole. Next car coming towards the line on a valid lap is that of Mike Matthews. Bit at his comfort zone, I'd say, for Mike in these cars.
Yeah, well, he didn't do the season either. But it was on Sunday evenings, I believe, when we did the Porsche Super Cup.
It was Sunday, Monday. It was one of them days. I think it may have been a Monday evening.
No, Monday was GT4s, wasn't it? And then we had AM.
No, we didn't do Porsches at the same time as GT4s. We didn't do Porsches. I can't remember what night it was. Car 18 is coming towards the line. Who is Car 18? That is Playerman for the Simplay drivers. He's got a lot of front end damage. Michael not yet set a time. Neither has DJ Phil. Carrot coming to line to set his first lap time now, and puts it up into P15. One man who will be loving these cars tonight will be this man, Gary Leach.
Oh yeah, well, he's in a 911, well 992, to be Beetle, to be really calling it, and he loves a Porsche.
He does love a Porsche indeed, as he comes to the line now, 1.6 off the pace, and must have validated his last lap. The next car is the 123. That is of our current pole man Emmanuel, then, who's going to come to the line and see what he can do as he rounds the final corner here at Mazzano, a bike circuit as well as Mazzano, so always an interesting race when we come here.
Yeah, well, we've come here, about 3 times now.
Yeah, believe
Missed
so.
it. And two seasons it was the finale.
Yeah, season 1, and yeah, the other season when we did the GT4s. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Dan
we've been
Davis.
here a bit.
Coming to the final corner, just ahead of Sully. There's a car in between Dan and Sully, who's on an invalidated lap. Dan Davis to the line, goes up to P7. Sully goes provisional pole by 0.2 of a second. Car number 77, that is Diz, who comes to the line. Then it is 96. I didn't see 96 moves up or down the standings. Who's next? That'll be car 97. That is Lawrence. And that'll be followed by Playerman in the background. Lawrence stays P17. What about Playerman? Down the order, then it is car 17. That will be RB Racing as Playerman stays 21st. Couple of laps left in qualifying. RB Racing stays where he is. Gary 131 currently down in 13th place. He'll be looking to improve. He's the next man to cross the line on a valid lap time. A lot of drivers still in the pit lane.
Yeah, there is. Well, Michael US, so it must be a different Michael from the other Michael. If not, he's doing really well driving with 2 wheels and two TVs and 2 Xboxes.
Gary moves up to P12 there. Michael US, yeah, that must be a different Michael they've got in their team. That's how they differentiate the two. Emmanuel looking to get his pole position back, needs 0.2 of a second. Comes towards the line, does not find that 0.2 of a second. Next man on a valid lap will be that of Dan Davis. You have to tip your hat to the FBR boys. They've been phenomenal all season, haven't they? They've done a great job.
Well, yeah, and they've helped with Pro and Pro-Am as well, bringing the Xbox over. As even though technically I could do both, well, can't now. I think my Game Pass has ran out, and I'm not paying for it again because it's gone up.
Dan Davis stays P7 here then and takes out one of the braking markers. Car 97 will be the next man on a valid lap time. That is Lawrence once again, who will be coming through to set the next valid lap time for himself. And can he improve on his current P17? That'll be the biggest question for Lawrence as he comes towards the line. Does improve but stays 17th place. Next will be car 17. That has a yellow flag around it. So that is RB Racing. Possibly had a little off track momentarily as he comes through the final corner. RB Racing does now, down towards the start, finish straight, and yet doesn't improve on his time. 760, or is that 769? It is 769 who is the next car to set a lap time. Rob for Team FBR also on the PlayStation. Going to be interesting to see what Rob can do.
Yeah, well, he's let whoever passed there, because I can't have control of count. That's Diz, I think, and Diz has just gone off through the back double apex. What goes to the back straight? Or is it the third straight technically? Quite a few straights.
There is, yeah. We're watching Rob come around the final couple of corners here at Mizano in his Porsche Carrera Cup car. Into the sweeping right-hander. Now he's got 2 left-handers to go. He can kind of cut this corner here. Over the curb you go. Run it out wide. Not too much, though. Keep it within that track limits. And again, just dip this car down onto the apex of the corner using as much runoff as you dare. Not too much. And he will get one more lap in here, will Rob? Can he improve on his lap time? Only 0.02 of a second he can improve. Car 84 is the next one to the line. DJ Phil didn't qualify, so track time, you'd imagine, is key in these cars, and DJ Phil did not get a lap time in.
No, and
Gary's been disqualified for driving in the wrong direction, so that's his qualifying over. Carrot and Sky Schundelmeyer and Clouden, Mick and Rob, DJ Phil all in the pits. Jason Island doesn't improve on his time. We've got Mike who's coming towards the line. Just ahead of him is car 34. That is Michael. As Mike Matthews just invalidates his lap time there by running over the curb. Michael stays where he is. The car 123 of Emmanuel Machado, as Mike Matthews does not get another lap time in, so he ruined that for himself at the very end. And now what can Emmanuel do? Really, him and Clouden, Dan Davis within a second, but Emmanuel and Clouden, the 2 drivers that look top quality at the moment.
Yeah, and another thing in the race we've got to talk about is the pit lane. It's a tricky pit lane here.
It is a tricky pit lane.
And
The
long.
999 comes across the line. That is Michael US, gets a lap time on the board. We now turn our attention to car 88. That is Sully, who looks like it's another pole position for Sully. Obviously did brilliant at the back end of GT3s last year.
Yeah, well, had terrible luck in race 2 though.
Yeah, wasn't a race 2 driver at all. Sully coming towards the line now. Does he improve on his time? No, he does not. So we've got Dan Davis, the next man to finish. Currently 9/10 off his best lap. We'll see what he can do coming around here.
And then hard on the brakes for this corner. I don't know the corner names. Paul from Lozano.
No, neither do I.
I don't really watch bike racing much now.
Dan comes through the penultimate corner in towards the final one for the final time in qualifying. Car 18 is just behind him. That is Player Man, but Dan 9/10 off the pole. Does he improve? No, he does not. Stays P7. Here comes Player Man. Can he find any improvement before car 34 of Michael comes to the line? Player Man improves, but stays where he is. Misses out by 3/10 over Rob. And Michael to the line. Stays P4. So Sully will take pole position from Emmanuel, with Adrian and Michael rounding out the top 4. Yeah, interesting qualifying session there, Pian. Not as many drivers improving lap times at the very end like you may think.
No, well, you would have thought it would, because the track's now optimum. So it's like plenty of grip, which you need in a car with no assists, really. Because that's the idea of a full supercar. They're great to watch in British touring car package. But it's the Formula 4s that I find a bit dull. As they're now gridding up here at Mazzano in Italy.
Yeah, getting ready to go here. Should be an interesting one.
Gary thrown his qualifying away by driving the wrong direction.
He did.
He was probably, because originally Mazzano went the other way round.
Oh, really?
Yeah, apparently. So he was obviously doing it the old way when the boats went the other way.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see what Gary Leach can do when we come up to the race. Gary would have only got in the lobby very late as well, so we wouldn't have had a lot of track time this afternoon.
Well, some of us don't get a lot of track time, do we? Because we've got other things on.
Yeah. But Gary's one of them drivers that can. Gary's one of them drivers that can get in the lobby and can, do his absolute best with the car in front of him, and he'll make a few tweaks, and then he'll know what he's got to do in that race.
Yep. Well, just set up the car for a race anyway, because points are in the race, not in qualifying. Pop and bowl. 1 point over the race win. I'll go for the race win.
Yeah, exactly. Me every day. Every day.
Because the car's only on very low fuel, normally at the end of the race or in qualifying.
Yeah, exactly.
As they set up on the warm-up lap.
So Sully will lead them away on this one-lap formation lap. Pian, I'll let you talk us through it. I just need to run quickly to the toilet.
Well, due to the server, I can't see. I see Matt's stream as we're following Sully going around our pole sitter, but for some reason, Emmanuel Machado has gone in front of him, and now he's dropped behind Sully. So we've got FBR from Simplay, from FBR, then FBR, then Simplay, then FBR. And so you go through the tricky left-hander onto the back straight. Gary is starting from the pit lane. I've just noticed the 131 sitting in the pit lane. So that's an interesting thing. But then again, though, the conditions look good here at Mazzano. 23 Porsches. Bit like, yeah, not a very popular car for our season, so the GT3 version. Be interesting to see who runs one in GT2s when that starts, because it's 2 A 935 and another 911. Right, coming down the other back straight towards the fast kink. But it's very easy to get track limits on the exit up here as well. And I'm just and remember, say hi in chat because we can both see chat. And like, comment, subscribe to Simplay Motorsport.
What has happened to Emmanuel? And Gary Leach?
He's just teleported. He has.
Who has?
He drove to Gary, I don't think took the start because I can't see it anyway. But I think Emmanuel just drove too quick and teleported.
Ah, well, there we go. Great start. Let's hear from everybody in the chat. Get your thoughts on who's going to win this race tonight then as they come into that penultimate corner for the final 1 hour race before Dan Davis brings you some Formula 1 action next week. A little fun event on F1 23 because F1 24 doesn't sound great at the minute.
Apparently the handling's terrible.
Yeah, all the esports drivers and all the early access people, like, people who bring it to you, got the early access, but we'll talk about it more as driver 53 DJ Phil gets a drive-through penalty, so it is not the night for the Simplay drivers in this race, and driver 53 is so far back, he's got a drive-through penalty, so great start for the Simplay drivers in this race, but it's Sully who leads coming into turn 1, and they're all relatively through cleanly. It doesn't look like there's been many spinners down in that background area. Just dropping back the order, they all look through nice and easy. So everybody's through absolutely pitch perfect. There is one of the FBR cars off. I believe that is Rob. It is. Rob is off on the gravel. But it is already a great start for Sully, who's 8/10 clear then of Adrian as they all come through Sector 1. Emmanuel still in the pits. Him and Gary are on the way out now. So great start for Simplay 1 with a drive-through. 2 started from the pit lane. It has gone horribly wrong, but it is Sully from Adrian, from Michael from Clouden, who's got a little twitch on out the exit of the corner. Dan Davis, Sky Schundelmeyer and Jason Island all trying to follow with Clouden here as they come in towards the middle sector. Car 11's round, that's Mike Matthews. He's had a dismal start to his race, lost the rear of the car, and like we said, he's out his comfort zone, and that just proves it looks like he's got a bit of front end damage.
Yeah, do you think he had a peaceful pirouette? But,
yeah. He more than likely did in these cars, Mike. Like we said, he's a bit at his comfort zone, and yeah, that's going to prove it. Clouden's having a little nibble at the back of Michael, and RB Racing nearly gives him a clout up the rear for his troubles, and Sully, by the way, has just already driven off. Adrian's well ahead of Michael, then it is Clouden, but as we're going to see them come across the line, Dan Davis is then just behind RB Racing, who we're on board with now. Then he's got Sky Schundelmeyer, Jason Island just dropping off the back as is Carrot, and gaps just starting to form. Don't forget there is a 1 mandatory pit stop at the middle of this race, as Dan Davis now going to have a look at RB Racing. Not close enough. Sky Schundelmeyer is also thinking about having a little nose look, but can't get it done in that early part of the circuit. And well, Dan Davis still staying behind. And is he just holding Sky up a little bit? I don't think Dan is holding Sky up at the moment. All good through here so far. DJ filling for his drive-through penalty. Borough Bex is P11. Then it is Diz, GT Jimbo, Lawrence, Nuke Waste, Player Man on the back of Nuke Waste. Then it is Mick. Then it is Mike, who's got even more front-end damage. So Mike's been in even more strife this opening lap. Then it is Rob, Michael US, DJ Phil, Emmanuel, Gary Leach bringing up the rear. So you have to say, unless you're Clouden, Davis, Sky, Jason Island and Player Man, all the other Simplay drivers have been in the wars.
Yeah, well, already. And 3 minutes.
Oh, that is Adrian, who's very, very wide and he's off the circuit. He's struggling to rejoin, and he's going to try and rejoin as all the drivers avoid him. That's going to promote everybody from Michael, Clouden. It wasn't Adrian, sorry, it was Sully, the race leader, who's had a few problems. He's dropped behind Dan Davis now. Didn't drop behind Sky and Schundelmeyer, who's lost out to Jason Island. So Jason Island's got through as well. So even the FBR boy started to have a few moments, and he's gone wide again.
Wide again.
Track limits will be key around this circuit as well, PN.
Well, if I remember that in the last season, a lot of people got a lot of track limit penalties here.
Yeah, we saw a few as well at the Red Bull Ring earlier on in the day. Playerman's tumbled down the order, so he's had a misdemeanor somewhere. And if you're looking down at that list, car 53 is the last car on circuit. That is DJ Phil, who's only just come through the first straight into that middle sector. So DJ Phil is that is Jason Island who gives Sully a bit of a tap up the rear. And Sky Schundelmeyer, I think, got through for his troubles. But now Sully could have a bit of damage to the rear end of his car.
Sky was quite handy in these as well, wasn't he?
He was. Oh, that's a call out. That's 88. That's Sully.
Sully was out of control by the look of things because these cars are tricky. And it just spit his car straight into... Was it into Sky's... Sky, was it?
No, it's not Sky. I'm not sure who it was.
It was a Simplay car because...
Was it Burrabex though? Because Burrabex has got a white and blue livery on. But Sully's definitely hit someone and he is very, very slow at the minute. Core 18 is back in the pits. Was it Playerman's return to the pits? It wasn't Playerman. He was too far down, so I'm not sure why Playerman's in the pits. But it is Adrian from Michael, from Clouden, from RB Racing, who is on the back of Clouden. Really driving a good race of these two for third and fourth at the minute. Dan Davis not quite close enough, trying to stick to the back of RB Racing. And Clouden trying to stay on the rear end of Michael. Good evening to Peaceful Stepdad in the chat.
Adrian with the fastest lap at the moment as well because it's purple, but that's about to change.
Oh, Clouden's got it wrong. Clouden's got it wrong. Rejoins to the circuit, but he's got it horribly wrong. And that's going to allow RB Racing through. It is a Team FBR 1-2-3 again.
Sausage curbs.
Then it is Clouden, Dan Davis, Jason Island, Carrot. Then it is Sky Shuttleby. I think it was Sky Shuttleby. I think it was right because look at the damage on the side of his car. But he didn't end up off, so it was pretty fortunate. He's going to have a look on Carrot. Can't make the move. Then it's Burrabex, Diz, Sam, GT Jimbo. Then it is Sully, Lawrence, Nuke Quace, Mike Matthews on a recovery drive. Mick, Rob, Emmanuel, Gary Leach, Michael, DJ Phil and Playerman still in the pits. That looks like that's the end of his race. Who's already a lap down.
Well, Phil and Dario and Emmanuel.
Yeah, no, that's on the lead lap though, aren't they? Because they have just crossed the line as Gary. DJ Phil is nearly a lap down, so yeah.
You think though this pit lane is probably the second longest in this game, but the other one being...
Oh, I don't know. Indianapolis will be close. Indy's got a very long pit lane.
Where you're waiting forever. But they give you enough time to sort your tyre pressures out, which is normally quite nice.
Indianapolis is a huge pit lane as well, so not sure about that. This is the fight between Dan Davis and Clouden and RB Racing, who's now in front of these three. The lead is all sailing off and away the top two. Excuse me, and that is DJ Phil, who is just in shot. Playerman's now 2 laps down. There is DJ Phil. Drive through penalty, damage to his name, his bonnet's flapping around, and there's the leaders in the background.
Just to see if he lets him through, because he's...
Oh, Clouden's had another mistake. And I'm not sure if RB Racing was involved because Dan Davis has got through. So now it is Jason Island who is on the back of Clouden. I do believe Sky Schundelmeyer has just got ahead of that of Carrot as DJ Phil still on the grass to let drivers through. As Emmanuel does the fastest lap of the race. Yeah, he's on the back of Rob now. Gary Leach, he's a bit behind Emmanuel, so Emmanuel has dropped him.
I would love to look at a different battle, but because Sully's on the back of Jimbo. There's a battle between Sam, Sully, Jimbo. Which isn't that far off front either. So there's a bit of FBR civil war going on.
There is, yeah. And it's Burrabex who actually leads that train from Diz, from Sam, from GT Jimbo, then Sully on the back. Like I said, it's GT Jimbo who's having a look all over the rear end of Sam. For that 11th and 12th place.
Who's put his green wheels over from the season.
Oh, little wide is GT Jimbo, and that's going to allow Sully up the inside and through. So Sully moves up to 12th place here then. Jason Island's on the back, or trying to get on the back, with Sky Schundelmeyer and of Carrot on the back of that of Cloud. And Cloud's just extended that gap last sector. And Sully now will be heading down after Diz, his fellow FBR teammate. Mike Matthews is on the back of Nuke Waste. Mike got a heavily damaged front end on the front of his Porsche. And Nuke Waste, I'm sure, will be trying to keep Mike behind him for as long as possible. 10 minutes gone nearly in this race, and already we're seeing dramas happen on this circuit. We've seen Sully have involved in an incident with Sky. Mike's had dramas of his own. DJ had dramas of his own. Emmanuel and Gary Leach didn't even make the start. And Emmanuel, by the way, is now 3 seconds behind Rob, so I don't know what's happened there.
Probably ran wide, trying to get past, or had the doors slammed in its face.
Well, let's go on board with Rob a second, who's got damage, has Rob, on the front of his car. And Emmanuel now comes flying through. What about Gary 131?
Well, Gary's not hit anything yet. He's got a nice clean car.
He's been at the back, hasn't he? He missed the start of the race. He can't hit anything when there's nothing to hit. He comes through up the inside of Rob. Thank you, Mama, for the carrots. Job done. That's a car wide. Not sure who was wide, but Mike Matthews has got through. Player man still stationary in the pit lane.
Yep.
As Mike Matthews gets past Nuke Waste, it was who went wide. GT Jimbo trying to stick now with Sam, as Sully's got ahead of Sam and is now heading down after Diz. Diz trying to get on the back of Borough Bex. But the top three at the minute is Adrian from Michael from Dan Davis. Albie racing a bit behind. Then it is Clouden, who's pulled away from Jason Island. Sky Schundelmeyer. Then it is Carrot from Borough Bex with Diz P10. Sully's P11, Sam's P12 with GT Jimbo on the back of him. Then it is Lawrence. Mike Matthews on a comeback drive. Nuke Waste 16th, Mick 17th. Emmanuel is 18th place. Gary's 19th. Then it is Rob, Michael US, DJ Fit. In fact, Michael US has pulled off to the side of the road. Where's DJ Phil? Last corner. And Michael US. So that shows how much DJ Phil has struggled in these cars today, PN. Is that he's nearly been lapped by Gary and Emmanuel, who who started after him. So DJ Phil just struggling out there.
Yeah, as I said, these are not pad cars at all. Rob, was it Rob still on the side of the road?
No, it's Michael US who is now away. And DJ Phil is now pulled up onto the side of the road to let Emmanuel and Gary Leach through. And Rob.
There was something in the rules saying you shouldn't go on the grass to let people through.
Oh, there's a car off just ahead. Seeing who that is. That is an FBR driver who was off the circuit. And I believe is that Nuke Waste. No, it is Lawrence who's been off. So Emmanuel is apparently the car behind Lawrence. Is that Michael US and the car behind him? Yes, it is. So Lawrence went off coming onto the back straight early on in this lap. Carrot, though, within that half a second space of Sky Schundelmeyer. And Sky Schundelmeyer 6/10 off the back of Jason Island. And a minute, these are the closest fights on circuit. Nuke Waste was pretty close to Mick. That doesn't look to be the case anymore. So let's go on board with Sky Schundelmeyer and Carrot for a few moments.
Yeah, it was, didn't Sky get a couple of seconds in the season in the Porsche Super Cup?
Can't remember.
No, I can't remember either. And we were commentating on it.
We was commentating on it. It's been a while since then, though. Been a while since then.
Well, yeah, I've had a lot happen.
Yeah. So as everybody comes through this middle part of the circuit, Sky Schundelmeyer just losing out to Jason Island, you reckon, a little bit here. Just looking at these times going down. Player man still stationary in the pit lane.
That has to be a retirement, hasn't it?
Yeah, pretty much so.
Unless he comes out now.
Oh, we're 13 minutes into this race and the gap's starting to spread out quite equally. Carrot has brought the gap down closer to Sky than what Sky had brought it down to Jason Island this lap.
Well, you think Sky's car's going to have quite a bit of damage. It's going to be a bit of a banana, if anything.
Going back to GT Jimbo. Sorry, Pen.
When he got nailed by Sully. When Sully was off the road and just speared into him and there's nothing he can do. There's another Porsche off behind Jimbo, so that was Sam. Probably wishes he was back in his Aston Martin.
Yeah. As this is the battle between GT Jimbo and that of Diz. Couple of tenths was in it on that last lap. And now all of a sudden Sky Schundelmeyer back within 4 tenths of Jason Island, so ebbing and flowing for Sky Schundelmeyer at the moment.
Yeah, he's right on Ireland. Not the country, the person in front of him, who's run wide and cut across the Sky's nose. Well, Dan is now 4 seconds off the back of Michael.
Yeah, I think that's where Dan's kind of going to finish, unless RB Racing manages to get onto the back of him.
Well, there's still 46 minutes of the race to go, so plenty of time.
Oh, plenty of time. Anything can happen.
Not as much time as a 3-hour endurance race, which was excellent.
Brilliant, wasn't it? Absolutely fantastic. Is that further forward? Is that Clouden trying to put a move on RB Racing then? So Clouden looking up the inside at the fast part of the circuit. No can do there. He's having a look though, he's Clouden. He has another look once again, and RB Racing has to just defend that one slightly. Not a full defend, but it's also not full commitment yet from Clouden. Michael's within 9/10 of the leader, so this could help Dan. I wonder if the leader's had a moment, because Dan's gone from 4 seconds to 3.7. Dan's gained a bit of time on that leader. And this the battle between RB Racing and Jamal Clouden. And who is that entering the pit lane? That is DJ Phil, who is now a couple of laps down as well.
Yeah, and windows. I believe there's a window, isn't there?
Yeah, window opens in 5 minutes.
So he's too early for that.
Sky Schundelmeyer as well on the back of Jason Ireland. So a few battles just starting to develop. And who's this? This is GT Jimbo down the order. He's currently P13 on the back of Sam at the moment. He's got Mike Matthews trying to hunt him down. Mike's not done bad to try and come back through the pack. And he's got a lot of damage at the front.
Yeah, Mike's with him. He's got a flappy bonnet. We like a flappy bonnet.
We do like a flappy bonnet. And yeah, he's not doing bad to come through the field.
No, he's getting there now, so... Oh, DJ Phil says he's on the steering wheel, that's why he's struggling right there. You'll be struggling even more.
Fair enough, DJ Phil. At least he's giving the wheel a go.
And Peaceful Stepdad's also in the chat, said hello.
Yeah, I did see that one. Very quiet in the chat tonight.
People, well, has it been a nice day where you are?
No, it's been miserable.
It's been sunny but windy.
Yeah, we've had the wind. We've not had the sun. It's just been miserable here. But yeah, hopefully it's better weather at the weekend. Sky Schundelmeyer, though, still looking on the back of Jason Ireland. Jamal Clouden. What has happened to Clouden? He's no longer fifth place. He's behind this battle. Oh, that's a huge wiggle, Jason Ireland.
That's gone to the shadow well.
Did he clip the wall? I'm not sure, but he's ended up behind Carrot, and Sully's now going to be charging for him.
Yes, that might have been a hit, big hit. Don't know, can't see it.
I don't think he did have a big hit.
Well, yeah, I want the weather to be nice, especially on Saturday when I'm attempting to go to Snetterton.
And is that Ireland? No, that's DJ Phil, who was very slow on the racing line, and Sully had to avoid him as Sully slides through the first complex.
That's why Fury likes these cars, because he can just slide them everywhere.
Carrot's 9/10 behind Clouden. Clouden 9/10 off the back of Sky Schundelmeyer. Dan Davis, the lead sim play driver.
Adrian's pulled away now. Again.
Yeah, Adrian's gone. GT Jimbo has got Mike Matthews within 4/10 of him, and he's also 7/10 off the back of Sam. Player man still not come out of the pits. Oh, who's that? Who's slow?
That, I believe, is Sam.
Well, the FBR driver's going at it. We're going to look at the number as they come through the corner. It is Sam. Evening to Gary Clarbel. My co-commentator is very quiet. Let me turn him up a little bit more.
No, don't worry about that.
And that is DJ Phil, who is very slow at the moment, being lapped. Now Mike Matthews looking on the rear end of Sam as they come through towards a final couple of corners here at Misano. But he can't do anything about it. Pit window should open in a minute 56.
So whoever's come through turn whatever number, I can't count.
Good evening. Hope you are well, Gary. Speaking of Gary and Emmanuel just have not came through this field tonight.
No, they haven't. bit, well, is there heart in it now? That's the question. Especially starting from the pits, and it's quite a long.
Yeah, does make you wonder, doesn't it? Right. So we got GT Jimbo from Sam. Then it is then it is Mike, who's having a look up the inside here. Very brave of Mike to have a look up the inside there. Not really an overtaking opportunity unless the car's had a mistake and could have possibly compromised his run onto this back straight. I don't think it has though. So Mike's being able to keep going at the moment.
Does he do a side into this hairpin?
Oh, he nearly did. He nearly tapped the rear end of Sam there. And Mike Matthews a day late, $1 short on the brakes. Luckily not to go into the back of Sam and go straight on. Loses a bit of time.
RB with the fastest lap now.
Thank you, Gary. Great to hear that you well. RB has got the fastest lap. And Dan Davis has somehow got second. Adrian no longer leads this race. He's down to third place. So Dan Davis is all of a sudden sat second place.
Did Adrian throw it off the road?
Well, he's just had a bit of a slide coming through that penultimate corner. So while we're watching other battles develop, Dan Davis is up to P2.
3 seconds off the lead. And the pit window opens
in 6 seconds. So for any driver coming up to that last corner, they can get in the pit window and get in and out straight away. There we go, it opens. Jason Ireland within 7/10 of Clouden.
Get the damage fixed if it got damage, and well, it's a 25 second hold anyway for fuel.
Sam within 9/10 of Jimbo, Mike within 9/10, just under a second of Sam. But it is that battle of Jason Ireland and Clouden. Mick is in to the pits. He's got a bit of damage. Emmanuel stays out. Gary stays out. What about Nuke Waste? He's going to box. Nuke Waste is straight in. What about Rob then? And then you've got Michael US, who's a lap down. DJ Phil, who's 2 laps down. And Player Man, that seems like a retirement for me, who's 9 laps down.
Yeah, it seems like a retirement.
Oh, I've just gone up to Mike Matthews, who's 7/10 off the back of Sam, and he's been off the road again. Lawrence hasn't got past, but that is the end of Mike's battle with Sam and GT Jimbo. That is that one to bed, and that could be overcooked tyres for Sam. Who is that? That is DJ Phil, who's causing a yellow flag. That is down at the complex. He's very off there. And DJ Phil brings it back on the circuit to carry on his way. Dan Davis closing the gap down to your race leader, Michael, though.
Yeah, is it now Davis time for Dan to push before pitting? Michael's wide.
If you remember, Dan was nowhere on the pace of Fury in these Porsche Cup cars. As Sully is into the pit lane, Mick is done, so Mick's a lap down. That's how long his pit stop's taken with the damage potentially. As is Nuke Waste. Mike Matthews also comes into the pits. I wonder if that'll be for a change of tyres. But it is Michael who leads from Dan Davis. Then it is Adrian RB Racing who's got the fastest lap of the race. Guy Schundelmeyer from Jamal Clouden, who's got a couple of cars just in front who are back. Marcus stays out the way. Then it is Jason Ireland from Carrot, Borough Bex from Diz GT Jimbo, then Sam. Sully's P13, Mike's P14. Lawrence has passed them. Then it will be Emmanuel who has passed them, and Gary Leach should come past the pair of them as well. He has done now, as Nuke Waste and Sully are on their way out of pit lane. But that was Emmanuel there, who is on the back of Lawrence for position here. This for P13 and 14. Emmanuel obviously got teleported at the start, and he's now on a comeback drive through the field.
He is. He's got some pace because he set the fastest lap earlier, and he was only 2/10 off Sully in qualifying.
Con 999 is off at the back end of the circuit, staying out the way, possibly to let the leaders come through. That is Michael US, who's already a couple of laps down, rejoins the circuit now, just ahead of Mick, who's just pitted. So this is going to be interesting to see then as the drivers flick through.
Meanwhile, Dan's only a second and a half off the back of Michael.
Bringing the gap down to Michael nicely now is Dan Davis. But when will he pit? When will Michael pit? This is the battle though between Lawrence and Emmanuel. Emmanuel just not able to get through at the minute. Will one of these two drivers think of coming into the pits? Well, DJ Phil is in, and I believe Michael US is also in. Oh, spinner! I believe there was a slight bit of contact between Emmanuel and that of Lawrence. Gary's going to come through once more.
I'll have to lean forward to try and see the numbers on the track map.
Jason Ireland on the back of Jamal Clouden once again.
Car 18's also been.
Yeah, that's player man who's been in for most of the time.
Oh, yeah.
DJ Phil's just left the pits, not done his mandatory pit stop. Michael US is in. And the leaders are coming around to lap Rob. This is Jason Ireland chasing down after Jamal Clouden. Gap for Dan's just opened up a small amount here.
Very spread out the field now, apart from Ireland and Clouden. But, I think Clouden's in front.
Clouden's been in front for ages.
Of Ireland?
Yeah.
So Ireland's hunting him down, and when oh, nope, none of them are pitting yet. They're probably trying to get to the halfway point of the race.
Yeah, that's more than likely where they're heading in terms of strategy in this one. Michael's still in the pits, not seeing any other driver coming at the moment. This is the closest fight on track, and it looks like Jamal's starting to just gap now. Dan's gap to Michael has just gone up a couple of hundredths, drops back down a couple of hundredths now, but he's got Adrian coming after him. So there's Adrian, there's Dan Davis, and there you see Michael just in front. And who's ahead of Michael on the track? The 769. That is Rob for Team FBR. So Dan Davis currently leading the way for the Simplay drivers. That was a little wide. Got to be careful of track limits around this circuit.
Yeah. Very, very easily done.
And there we go. 999. Stop-go penalty by race control. It doesn't say what for. Michael was in the pit lane, though. So I believe that is a speeding in the pit lane. Stop-go 30-second time penalty. And here comes Jamal Clouden, just gapping that of Jason Ireland a little bit. These three, with Sky just in front, have kind of been best of the rest for Simplay. Dan's been the leader, and these three have been best of the rest.
Yeah, that's how it seems. Well, it probably didn't help that Emmanuel missed the start. Or teleported because he was driving too quick and out of position.
DJ Phil back in the pit lane. That was a wiggle there for Jamal. All good. Dan's gap's gone up 0.3 to Michael and has come down a little bit to Adrian.
Yeah, any event?
Oh, it did. It's now gone back up 0.4. So whatever Adrian's done, he's made a little mistake this lap that's allowed that gap to open back up to Dan Davis. This the closest fight on circuit at the minute. O'Clouden versus Jason Ireland.
Into the first corner. Oh, that's taken quite a bit of them sausage curbs.
And I'm going to need to grab a bit of Gaviscon. So, Pian, I'm going to leave it with you momentarily.
And at the moment, because all I can do is see the cameraman leaves it on, because with Clouden versus Ireland, as they go through the corners on the complex onto the back straight. Oh, it was very close to track limits. It must have been. You could easily get on the inside and running wide into the first hairpin, and that's just still the call for the 999 to come to the pits and do your stop go. Stop and hold for 30 seconds. Phil has now done his stop, and he's gone green. Highest of the pit runners is Solly. Dan's now pulled away from Adrian by a couple of tenths. But with RB hunting Adrian down, that would be a bit of FDR civil war. As Clouden's now over a second in front of Ireland into the final few corners. Sky's in the pit. Sky is pitting now. Just saw him peel off into the pit lane. That looked quick by Sky.
Tibbs is in then, so Sky in the pits. Dan's lost out a bit more time to Michael. Gap between Ireland and Clouden has opened up a lot more. Just looking for closest battles on track. Lawrence and Sully. But that is Sully probably making his way through the field. Mike Matthews did pit. He's not quite close to back of Lawrence at the minute. Michael's still got his stop row penalty to do. Player man still in the pits and stationary, and no one else is yet coming into the pits. The 1, 2, 3 of Emmanuel and Gary still left to pit. There's 11 minutes and 11 and a half minutes left in that pit window, and Emmanuel now decides to box.
Yeah, get some fresh tyres in the car.
Yeah, would you change tyres in these Porsche Cup cars?
I've changed tyres in any of the cars if it was an option now, so... Maybe not in a 20-minute race, but in an hour race, yeah, you might as well if you've got them.
Well, Michael has got 1 lap to do his stop go, otherwise that'll be disqualification for him. Sky Schundelmeyer is done and is now on his way. He's lost out to Gary 131, and I believe has lost out to Sully. No, we're on board with Sully, so hasn't lost out to Sully at the moment. So far, so good for Sky, but he's coming down the straight. He's not yet on the limiter.
No, he won't be off the limiter until... Well,
so he has lost out to Sully. Lawrence is in the pits, and Mike is nowhere near. So Sky will come out ahead of Mike. But Sully on a good comeback drive then to get the jump on Sky, seeing as he was way behind him before he pitted.
Yeah, it's not a bad comeback drive, and well, be interested to see how it plays out with Clouden and Ireland now pitting.
Yep, and Carrot is in the pits. Burrabex carries on, so does Diz and GT Jimbo. Sam's going to come into the box, and then we wonder about Gary Leach. Emmanuel is only just on his way out. Lawrence is in the pits as well. Halfway through this race, Rob's still to pit. Michael's got to do his stop go this lap.
Well, he's got to pull in now. If not, he get DQ'd.
Where's Michael on the circuit? 999. He's not yet round at the pit lane. Gary's now in as well.
Gary's pitting now.
Emmanuel only left the pits not long ago. That is the 53 yellow flag. That is DJ Phil once again, who has had a few dramas. There was a car pulling away there. Was that Lawrence? Yes, it was. So where is Michael? Is Michael into the pits? He is.
Oh, Michael.
Clouden's away. Jason's away. Carrot's away. Sam and Gary yet to stop. Where is the 1, 2, 3 of Emmanuel? Not quite near yet.
They're coming on to the longer back straight.
So keep our eyes on Gary. Sully's got past Gary. And the leader, Michael, is in. Dan Davis leads this race then. Adrian also in the pits. RB Racing will carry on his way. What about Burrabex? As Gary Leach is exiting the pit lane and Emmanuel is way back here. So Gary Leach has got the jump over Emmanuel.
Not a bad little bit of pitting by Gary. Probably didn't have any damage to repair.
Sky, Jason Ireland, Clouden. Sully's in between them. So Sully's had he's jumped Jason Ireland as well. He's had a good pit stop.
He has, yeah. It's a solid pit stop by Sully.
Just Rob to pit now as well for the leaders. Oh, that sounds like it's a car off. And as the camera pans around, it was a Simplay car. It was DJ Phil.
Yep.
So Dan Davis has got 5.1 seconds over RB Racing at the minute. Pretty comfortable, but has got 8 minutes to pit. Surely Dan's got to start thinking of a pit stop soon in terms of responding to that of Michael.
Yeah, because you would respond to Michael. He's the one who was in front of you for the race lead.
Not many fights on the track at the minute.
You know what would be nice right about now? A little bit of weather.
Yeah, a little bit of rain.
Little bit of drizzle.
Little bit of drizzle. That'd
You know,
calm
the
things down
conditions
a
we
bit.
had the conditions we had at Silverstone at the weekend.
Oh, that was phenomenal. That was phenomenal. You was forever changing strategy, forever having to think about what your strategy was going to be. It was a great event. Really good event.
Look at it now. Oh, my head hurt. Everything.
But here comes Rob. Is he going to pit? Dan Davis has gone to do another lap. Oh, and gets held a little bit, yeah. And that is the 77 of Diz. Holding Dan a little bit there.
Blue flags are waving.
That's going to hurt him. That is going to hurt Dan.
Diz is not moving over.
Albie and Burrabex in the pits. And this is just going to be hurting Dan Davis here.
Yeah,
as is GT Jimbo.
Diz is not moving over for the blue flags.
No, Dan is flashing now. You know you've done wrong when Dan's flashing you.
Yeah.
And Diz now moves out the way. So Dan Davis can now head after Carrot, but Michael, it's going to be interesting to see the gap between Michael and Dan Davis now. Long old pit lane. RB Racing's already done. And Burrow-Backs and GT Jimbo just left in the box. Dan still to pit. We'll wait to see that gap between Michael and Dan Davis. No real battles happening out on track. Gary's got past Rob, but Rob's still got to pit. And RB Racing, second place to Michael. So where's Michael at the moment? In fact, where's Dan? Dan's in the pit lane. Dan's in the pit lane.
Yeah.
Michael's at the hairpin. So this is going to be interesting.
See how quickly Dan get in.
Sully's gaining on the back of Clouden here.
But catching is one thing, passing is quite another. Oh, we need some muddy water quotes.
Bit of a slide there for Clouden as he comes onto power onto the back straight. Through he comes once more.
Let's fill off again. I just saw the yellow 50.
Now where's
53.
Michael? Dan's still in his box. Michael's coming up to these last couple of corners. DJ Phil's still off. Rejoins the track now, does DJ Phil. Dan is still green. As Michael... Dan has just gone green, sorry, as Michael rounds the penultimate corner. Now Dan has got a long way to go till he's off that pit limiter. This is going to be close, you know. Yep, DJ Phil straight out the way. Has Diz helped Michael get on top of this race, or has Dan done the overcut over Michael? No, he has not. Dan's still on the limiter. Michael is through. Dan should come off the limiter before Adrian gets here. Adrian breaks into turn one now. Dan's off the limiter and can head straight out onto the track. And Dan Davis is out there on the circuit. DJ Phil lets him go. So Dan back out in second place. Down to Sully and Cloud, and this is getting close now.
It is, and how far Sky from the back of that? 4 seconds? So yeah, Sky's not a million miles away.
No, but yeah. Sky and Jason didn't really have the best of pit stops.
No, not really. Did Sky repair damage?
Possibly so. Possibly
or at least
so.
A little bit of it.
So can Adrian catch back up to Michael? That's going to be the back up to Dan. That's going to be the question. This the closest fight on circuit at the moment.
Yep, as that's I believe Phil getting out of the way. I've got a message which I can't look at the moment because it's a video. Oops, sorry. I'll be back in a sec. As we've gone quiet.
So
yeah, I'll just gotta go check this.
Clouden has opened his gap up to Sully. And who's that? That is Clouden. Who's he fighting here? That is the 97 of Lawrence, who is just holding Clouden up a little bit while Sully's trying to come through. And Sully and Clouden both on the grass a little bit there. Here they come down the start-finish straight. Sully's got a good run on Clouden in towards turn one. And Lawrence still hasn't moved out of the way at the moment yet. Still being a little bit of a nuisance. Oh, and Clouden hits him! Clouden hits Lawrence and around he goes! DJ fell back in the pits. And Lawrence has lost a lot of time, but so has Clouden. He's come out behind Carrot. And is that just Carrot? No, he's ahead of Carrot. So that must be a backmarker who's ahead of him on track. But Clouden into the back of Lawrence there. And why didn't Lawrence just move out of the way? But now we've got Carrot on the back of him for position. And Dan's lost a lot of time to Michael. Not sure who that is off. That is one of the back markers off the road. Car number 8, that is Mick, who's off as well. But Clouden into the back of Lawrence here. The back marker just getting involved a couple of times today.
Quite a lot of ignoring blue flags.
Bring on the season when penalties will stop them doing that.
Well, yeah. Well, hopefully. You still got a few that will ignore them still.
Exactly.
Because the rules do state, for sim play, you move out of the
corners.
way within 3 corners.
Yeah, 3 corners.
And there's been a lot of people not moving out of the way.
Dan has lost a lot of time to Michael. Adrian slowly catching Dan, but not hand over fist.
Yeah, the closest battle is between Clouden and Carrot.
Currently watching this. Emmanuel second off at the back of Gary, who's done the fastest lap of the race, by the way, so just goes to show his pace. It's a shame he didn't get to take the start.
It does, yeah, because he would have been up there with Dan and Michael and... Well, it'd been interesting to see what happens. Sully kept the car on the road as well on the second lap. Because the grass cutting, look, none of you in Hondas, you're in Porsches.
Yeah.
There you go, here's the next one, mate. Put everyone in the NXS. Pit window is now shut, but everyone's done their pit stop. Apart from Player Man, who's pretty...
that's him not back out of the pits. So just looking here. All good so far from all these drivers.
Yeah, well, other than the battle between Clouden and Carrot, they're pretty spread out now, aren't they?
Yeah, not really much to say about them. Clouden and Carrot, the two that are battling on screen at the moment. Emmanuel 1.2 off the back of Gary Leach. Gary 8.5 off the back of GT Jimbo. 19 minutes left in this race as well, so time ticking away for these drivers here.
Yeah, and, well, track temp has gone up by a degree, what I've noticed since the start of the race.
Yeah. Also, Adrian out front now. That gap's down to 2 seconds to him and Dan Davis. So, Adrian looking good in terms of catching Dan, but like you say, catching's one thing, passing's another. Emmanuel's on the back of Gary Leach. This is down for 15th and 16th place.
You would have thought you just let the... You work as a team, don't you, this time, not as a
You'd
driver.
have thought so, yeah.
Yeah, let the faster car through. You know, the infamous Fernando is faster than you. Do you understand the message? Yeah, but I'm not going to move.
Yeah. So Gary into turn 1. He's got Emmanuel 0.6 of a second off the back of him. Just keep our eyes on that Clouden battle as well. Gap to Dan and Adrian down to 1.6. So Adrian's coming for Dan here.
He is, and now the tyres are up to temp and pressures.
GT Jimbo as well. 3 seconds the gap was him to Mike. He's now on the rear of Mike Matthews. Because Mike had another problem here because he's also lost time to Sam.
He has, as he had another little slip and slide.
He's very wide there, is Mike. Very, very wide. And GT Jimbo will not need a second invitation. He's going to try and use that slipstream of Mike. He's got even closer now. And here comes GT Jimbo. Adrian's within 0.7 of Dan Davis. So we'll go to that battle in a minute. Gary side by side with Emmanuel in the background. And Mike Matthews, we said he was out his comfort zone in these cars. He's just struggled all night. And GT Jimbo not close enough down to Adrian. He's not close enough at the moment either. What about Emmanuel and Gary? Emmanuel is past Gary Leach. So them two can now head after this battle of GT Jimbo and Mike Matthews here.
Yeah, well, this is a couple of battles here from between a few of them. The share screen's gone pixelated for me. I can't read it now.
Well, here's Adrian on the back of Dan Davis at the moment. P2 and 3. Gap within 0.4 of a second.
Yeah, and Michael's pulling away. He was quite rapid at the end of Pro last season.
He was, yeah. He come good in the BMW M4, didn't he, did Michael? GT Jimbo's lost a couple of tenths to Mike Matthews. Now we see how quick Emmanuel and Gary can gain on the back of GT Jimbo. It was 8.8 last time around. It's now 8.1, so that's 7 tenths pulled back. And that is a very slow DJ Phil. Keeping going. We say the same things every season, don't we, about DJ Phil? He's one of the guys that will get to the end of every race and keep going no matter what the situation.
Unless it's an F1 where you've knocked a wheel off the car, then you can't.
Alright, let me rephrase that then, smart arse. Unless that's Mike who's had another problem. Mike Matthews has had another spin.
Mike with another pirouette. Or half a pirouette.
And now he's going to be into the clutches. He can't get back on the track. And now he's been passed by him and he's returned to pit lane. Well, I've never seen Mike retire like that before.
Oh, you ain't got the end of that, like, will he?
Where's RB Racing? Where's Adrian gone?
Where is Adrian gone? Are we losing people? Disconnections?
Mike's done. These are horrible, he says. Where's Adrian? His name has gone off that list. Yeah, his name is not on that list.
Adrian's disappeared,
that's a dive bomb from Rob there on Dan Davis. And Dan giving him a cheeky flash of the lights. Now Sky Shundlemeyer's on the rear of Sully once again. Or has Sully got past Sky? No, I think Sully's got past Sky, hasn't he?
So, Adrian, we've lost...
We've lost Adrian. Mike's retired. Playerman's retired.
So, yeah. Oh, there's a car backwards at the hairpin.
Yeah, that is Michael US allowing the traffic to go through.
He's just watching the cars now, isn't he?
Adrian's back in the lobby, so we did lose Adrian for a brief moment and it's dropped him to 14th place. And Adrian must be kicking himself now. He must be kicking at the Wi-Fi router. And anyway, let's go back to what we were saying before Mike retired. Smart arse, as we were saying. DJ Phil always keeps going in cars that do not lose wheels and do not retire you from the race. DJ Phil always keeps going. And he sets an example, PN, to all drivers... Right? Who never give up, you know? Never give up. DJ Phil's had a horrible night, but he always goes to the end. And that's why he has the most appearances for Simplay Motorsport. Signs up to everything, gives it a bloody good go. Sky Shundlemeyer, by the way, really hassling the back of Sully.
It was... No, it's Phil shit. Phil coming out of pit lane, and so he was just waiting for the cars to go
Yeah, I
through.
believe so, yeah.
It is the never give up attitude by DJ Phil.
Who was it? Smithy was the other one. Back on Project Cars 2. Smithy was the other one.
Just turns up, kept going, never give up.
Yeah. Get to the end, score points.
Didn't have a sim rig braking on him.
That was hilarious at the weekend. That was hilarious.
Or a TV shut down.
Dean's TV turned off and then his Simrig collapsed. That was absolutely brilliant. Sky Shundlemeyer, though, is really hassling the back of Sully here. He's having a good bit of a performance late on in this race.
Yeah, it's like his car's just coming alive. Maybe Sully's just started to die because of the damage.
Yeah.
He's still carrying.
Mike's even left the lobby.
There's car be nice if Sky got in front of Sully. That'd be a nice little pass.
It'd be a great little pass. Tibbs come on a bit last season as well. We've seen Tibbs have a good season last year. Out Sky Shundlemeyer.
We're still so used to using the PSN names, aren't we?
Yeah. It's the bonus with the Xbox drivers. We don't know their names, so we just call them what we have to read on the screen. As that is car 24. Now that is Adrian coming out the pit lane back into this race. So used to seeing Sky as car 24.
Well, yeah, because this is the first one Sky's done of these, isn't it? Because of moving and everything. So the 24 would have been taken for these, and hence these the 240.
Do you know what I'm very surprised at, by the way? 12 minutes left in this race. The only penalty we've had was a stop-go penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Normally, when we see this circuit, we see a lot of track limits being taken. Yeah,
especially like when we come onto that back straight first, because you try to straight line it as much as possible. And you're bound to get flagged, like one warning, two warnings.
Oh, RB Racing's had an off. There's a yellow circle around his dot on the track map just ahead of these boys. So there he is, look. Slow car ahead. You see the white flag, meaning slow car ahead on Assetto Corsa Competizione. Meaning that he's had a moment. Well, I've been having to get used to saying it on iRacing for the last lap last lap of the race. White flag. And Sky's going to look around the outside of Sully into the third from last corner. Can't get it done. But Sky now launching an attack. Jamal Cloudon's gaining on the back of Jason Ireland as well.
Sky's looking racy. It's looking fantastic.
Possible podium on here for Sky.
Yeah, with RB not far up the road now. And it's probably 50p'd his tyres a little bit with the spinning. We've got Emmanuel on the back of GT Jimbo. That's for 11th and 12th. So a couple of sim play drivers late in this race. Just going to take some points off of the Team FBR lot. So that's going to be interesting. Sky's having a look up the inside. Great move. Late on the brakes. They just tap doors a little bit. They still come together. Sky spins him around. Oh.
And we await the camera to pan around. I think Sky has carried on going.
That must be
No,
Sully.
I don't think he has, actually. No, we're on board. Sully. Sky kept going.
Yep, Sky did take
So Jason Ireland and Cloudon go through, and Sky kept going.
Ooh.
Jason Ireland defending. We don't do tickets on fun events now. Jason Ireland defending on Cloudon. Emmanuel's on the back of GT Jimbo. Gary's caught onto the back of Emmanuel as well here. So GT Jimbo now has two very quick Porsche drivers behind him. Emmanuel, I do believe, who's dive bombed up the inside of GT Jimbo. No contact was made. Emmanuel's going to go try to the outside, going to look to the inside in a minute. And now Gary's looking to the outside here. I'd love to get Mike in the comms box, get his views on these Porsche cars today. And no way through there.
Yeah, well, Mike, you can join the comms box because we're doing it on the PlayStation, not Discord, for the last 2 weeks. I just saw a message pop up then and I just missed it what it said. Has someone got to stop though?
No message. No message. Car 8 is well off. Not sure where that is. That's at the final corner. That is Mick, who is off, rejoining now.
I don't know with the share screen if I could bring up the pointer so I can sort of circle things.
The GT Jimbo. Oh, Mike doesn't want to come in the commentary box. Boring.
Well, if you could say something, I've already slipped up once.
Emmanuel looking up the inside, bounces off the curbs. That's unsettled the car. What's Gary Leach going to do? Gary goes through on the inside. And now we've got a slow car. I believe that is possibly Mick. Car number 8. Now Gary looking up the inside of GT Jimbo. Gary's now had a mistake. And now Emmanuel cutting across the corner quite vigorously there. Gary's gone wide. And GT Jimbo can count himself lucky that Gary and Emmanuel are making so many mistakes here.
Meanwhile, Captain Belize's come down by a couple of seconds.
Yeah, it has.
I've just looked up at the timing board.
Emmanuel still fighting GT Jimbo.
The 222. Oh, it's FBR car backwards. Don't know which one.
Is that the 159 it says on the track maps? That is Nuke Waste, who's a lap down to these guys anyway.
Emmanuel's all over Jimbo. Jimbo was a Pro-Am driver, wasn't he?
He was, yes. Yeah.
Won both races at Monza, if I remember correctly.
He did.
Double race win for Ferrari.
Michael US in the pits.
Tell you what, that's another slide that Gary's had in the Porsche. He had one on Sunday night as well, on the last lap. He did it for another league. What are the gaps for the lead? 5.3 between Michael and Dan. RB, I think, is about 20 odd seconds.
5.3, but I think Darren's got to go up pretty much a second a lap to catch up here. At 130 something a lap, I do believe. That's got to be, yeah.
Might be a bit slower than these, because no TC and less aero, isn't it? Compared to
Yeah,
the GT3
exactly.
car.
Exactly.
But less aero means faster in a straight line. Oh, Emmanuel's wide.
Yeah, Emmanuel's
in the hairpin.
wide. Who's that off? 96. That's Sam, who I believe's had a moment. So yes, Emmanuel was wide, but I believe Sam has had a moment. That'll put these guys up another place. Gary gets through once again, and GT Jimbo now drops it. So Gary and Emmanuel are finally through here.
Do you think this is tyres dying, maybe?
Possibly tyres dying, yeah. So Gary and Emmanuel get 2 places there. They've pretty much been together all race.
They have, because they started in the pit lane together.
Dan's brought that gap down a couple more tenths out front.
Oh, car 84 is...
Jason Island.
Jason Island, he's been off. So that's freed up Clouden.
It's the closest fight on track then at the moment. Gary Leach and Emmanuel Machado.
Stampeding to the... Oh, that's got to be closer track than it's Emmanuel through the first corner. He nearly had all 4 wheels on the concrete, which is not part of the
Now
track.
Gary's gone very wide. Emmanuel's looking up the inside, but Gary goes deep
Gary's
again.
wide.
Even deeper for Gary, and Emmanuel still side by side with Gary. Gary still holds on to that place. Emmanuel's now going to try and tuck underneath. And who's that just behind them?
Sam.
No, it isn't. No. I believe that's a lapped car. Can't quite make out the car number.
27.
It's P18.
27.
So that is that Rob? Oh no, it is car 27. Apologies. So P19, that is Carrot.
That's Carrot. Well, he had pace earlier, didn't he? And then
Did, yeah. He did.
Porsche things.
So I wonder if it is the tyres dying. I don't know if Mike can tell us in the chat. I don't know if he's still in the party chat with all the others. But is it the tyres dying? Did drivers change tyres on their end?
I know I would have done if I had the option to.
In these cars, yeah. More than likely I'd have changed tyres.
Well, I think the normal Porsche Super Cup race is only 20 minutes long.
Yeah.
So we've done 3 in one race.
Yep.
Yeah, that's about the length they are in for the F1 support.
It's still the
GT3.
closest fight on circuit, though.
Yeah. Carrot getting involved.
Yeah, I think he's got the pace over these two to unlap himself, but that's the problem.
But they're battling for position, so
Yeah.
even though as a team they should be...
Oh, just made
Gary's
contact
in.
with Gary. He's just made contact with Gary. That's going to allow Emmanuel up the inside. Dan's got the gap down to 4.1. Now, Dan's got to still go some to
He's gonna have
win
to
this
hope
race.
Michael throws it off the road or something like that to have any... Where are they on the track? Let me have a look at the track.
Look at... Yeah, there's no other battles, really, apart from these that's on the circuit at the moment.
These two.
But a run through of the order. It is Michael from Dan Davis from RB Racing. Then it is Sky Schundelmeyer, Jamal Cloud and Jason Island. Diz P7 from Burrabex in 8th. Sully's 9th with Emmanuel Machado, fastest lap of the race, in P10. Gary Leach is 11th. Although Gary Leach still side by side at the moment. They've just put a lap on DJ Phil again. So this is interesting at the minute so far.
Yeah, GT Jimbo 12th. Sam 13th. Mick 14th. Nuke Weiss 15th. Lawrence, which is what's his name normally? Korg into Lawrence.
I believe so, yeah. Lawrence Juiced.
What was it? Yeah, has juiced. In 16th, Adrian 17th, Rob 18th, Carrot 19th.
Dan's got the gap down to 3.6. Dan is charging late on in this race. Is that because
Two
Dan
to
is
go.
possibly on younger tyres?
Possibly, yeah. Michael US 20th. Also never gave up, kept going. 9 laps down, but he's still going. The
So
only
let's
person
see-
who's had a stop go.
DJ Phil's back in the pits. There's Michael. There's Dan in the background, look.
Yeah, Dan is pushing. 2.8. Oh, and it could be two
With
to go.
2 laps to go.
Spicy.
I tell you
How,
what, Dan
how
could be
hot-
on him on this last lap.
how hot do you like it?
Yeah, Dan could be on him on this last lap of the race.
We're keeping an eye on this, but Gary is so close to Emmanuel that you can cover them up under the same blanket.
Yeah.
Looking at the timing board to the left.
Gary Leach has got back out of Emmanuel, but we're going to just... In fact, let's just drop down and take a look at that. Yeah, there is Gary ahead of Emmanuel.
It's still so close. Oh, both of
Little
them
moment,
twitching.
yeah, little moment for the pair. Dan's got the gap down to 2.6. Car 17 is off. RB Racing's off.
Yeah.
He rejoins. So Sky Shundelmeyer is going to be on the podium. Jamal Cloudon might get RB Racing here as well. He does. And Jason Island a little too far back. I'm not sure who that is behind Jamal Cloudon.
24, so that's Adrian, who would have been up there earlier, but got
Yes.
disconnected.
Yeah. Gap's opened up 3.3. I think that's gone for Dan with 1 to go. Needs a
One to go,
mistake.
yeah. Meanwhile,
Oh! One of the sim play drivers, or 3 of the sim play drivers have come together.
someone just hit somebody else. Who I think that's... Who was that?
Says car 27, but it was a white livery.
Car 53 was involved in that.
DJ Phil has hit Gary, who has hit Emmanuel. So DJ Phil has just hit 2 of the sim play drivers off. Dan's brought the gap down again, but I don't think it's going to be enough. DJ Phil has just hit 2 of his own teammates.
Oh, not like this. Meanwhile, Dan is trying to catch Michael, but oh, Dan's flashing, but there's an FBR car in front of him.
Yeah, it's back markers, it's traffic.
But well, one of them earlier did kind of hold Dan up a little bit.
Oh,
Look,
that's
and
a
they just
spin, that's
lost it.
car 8. Who's that in front of Dan now, though? It's a sim play driver that's let him through, dead easy. But Michael, not put a foot wrong, really. Look at how clean his car is.
Yeah, but it's very clean, very shiny. Not a bit of mark.
I've just thought, we've got 4 mics in the... Sorry, 3 mics and a Mick in the race today.
Yeah.
Michael US, our Mike, and then Mick. Not confusing at all. But Michael for Team FBR, he's going to make it an FBR 1, 2, 3 in terms of race wins here in the Team FBR versus Simplay Motorsport battle. He will win the Porsche Cup race from Dan Davis in P2. Sky Shundelmeyer looks like he's going to come home for P3. That was Nuke Waste who crossed the line. P14. We've got DJ Phil 21st, Player Man retired early doors. Mick crosses the line P15. Sky a little loosey-goosey on the rear there.
Cloudon's on him.
I don't think Cloudon will go from. I think they'll hold station's final corner. Sky deserves this, to be fair. He's drove a good race.
Yeah.
He's going to
I
come
think
through.
He was absolutely T-boned, wasn't he?
Exactly. Sky Shundelmeyer third from Jamal Cloudon in fourth. RB Racing demoted to P5 at the end of that one. Lawrence has also finished P16. We then await Jason Island, who comes round the corners at the final couple of corners. Now GT Jimbo is in the pits. Here comes Jason Island. Not sure who that is behind him. It's a back mark. That is Adrian. P17. What a shame for Adrian. Could have been on that second step. There's P7. Borobex is going to come home for P8. Sully P9. Emmanuel P10. Couple of drivers in front of him. Gary Leach P11.
With probably some choice words to Phil. Oh, Phil's.
It's going to be Sam who is going to cross the line in P12. And then Michael US is going to be P20. and last. GT Jimbo still in the pit lane. And that is it then. That brings an end to the Simplay versus FBR battle. It was that of Team FBR who win the battle between the two channels and the two leagues. Congratulations to Team FBR for the fantastic win this season. And we head next week into the Formula 1 race. 2 weeks just before the start of our GT3 season. So sign-ups needing to obviously be made. If you are in the Discord channel, make sure you go to that sign-ups page and sign up for GT2s, which will be the first 6 weeks of the championship. Sign up for GT4s, which will be the last 6 weeks of the championship. And don't forget to sign up to GT3s for the new championship with teams. Get your teammates and your team names signed up all in due course. Posts will be going out over the weekend for all that information, as well as make sure, if you haven't already, do your hot stints. Make sure your hot stints are in and head over to the sign-ups page and check out the sign-ups form over there. Also, make sure you follow us on SimGrid. You don't need to do anything on SimGrid. That is down to us as admin to sort that one out. But don't forget, Formula 1 event next week. If you are free, get signed up for it. 12 drivers currently in for that one. We'd love to see more of you in for that. That brings an end, though, to the Porsche Cup race tonight. It was an absolutely fantastic night's worth of racing here for the Porsche Cup drivers. Team FBR, 3 wins out of 3. What more can we say? They was on their game in this little battle, and I'm sure we'll bring another battle of it back at the end of next season. We've got other cars of GT2s, we've got Ferrari Challenge, we've got the Super Trofeos, we also have the BMW M2s, I believe it is, Dan, which is also another option which we can just bring to the channel in this Simplay versus FBR battle. Dan, obviously you brought us Red Bull Ring 2 weeks ago. Any words on this little sort of battle between the two channels?
I just want to say a massive thank you to FBR and the guys basically swamping our channel. It has been a bit of a poor showing from the Simplay lot, and I do think next time we do this, the Simplay boys need to step up, as we were at a disadvantage at Red Bull Ring. But we've got to bring the GT4s back. They were a great giggle. This was a lot harder, but no, again, thank you to all the guys who participated in this. It was a bit of fun. Nice to see all the guys out on track. Nice to see a different variety of cars as well. So I'm looking forward to a rematch, but this time let's proper go full teams instead. So Simplay, get your stuff together and get your act together and get out and support us, as the FBR boys have done a fantastic job. Now we just need to stop them next time. But Michael had an awesome drive. There was nothing I could do to catch him. He was phenomenal, to be fair. And
just to add to your point there as well, is this is all just as much as we obviously, FBR want to beat us, we want to beat FBR. It is just a bit of fun. It's an off-season event. It is a bit of fun. So don't worry about if you're not used to driving these cars. Just get signed up. This is what these events are for, to try something different and step out of the comfort zone of a McLaren. Which seems to be the go-to thing to drive at the moment. But it's going to be fantastic. We've got Formula 1 coming next week, as we say, as then the season a couple of weeks away as well. So it's going to be a brilliant stuff. And again, if you are interested in driving these other cars, get signed up for them GT2s and get signed up for them GT4s. The first half of the season is GT2s, the second half GT4s.
I can't stress, obviously, I probably won't do the GT2s, but I can't stress more than enough for the GT4s. Like, they are an awesome category to learn to race in. A lot of the drivers are wanting, teaching of racecraft and stuff like that. Get signed up to the GT4s, because they're the best thing to learn in. They are awesome. They're small, little, low-powered cars, and they are great to race with. Even get involved with the Formula 1 events. But you guys need to make sure that you've reacted before the event so that you are able to get in and race. Otherwise, if you're not reacted in time, you will not be racing full stop. So it's a habit you're all going to have to get used to this season. And Formula 1, and then the season starts, Matt. It's catching up really quickly. 6
weeks have come and gone just like that. But we thank you all for tuning in tonight. Thank you to PM Motorsport for joining me in the commentary box. And as Dan just said a moment ago, thank you to all the FBR participants who have participated over these last 3 weeks. It has been fantastic. And to all the Simplay drivers who have taken the time out to participate as well. Formula 1 next Thursday. We head to Qatar for what should be an absolute banger around that circuit. We'll see you next time, though. Good night.
Good night.
See you next time, though. Good night. And we're clear.
Double tablet, shut down. Close up. Now you're charged properly.
I can catch the fucker.
Yeah, he looked quick. To be fair, he did.
He was just consistent, and he did what I did. Saved and looked after the tyres.
Yeah.
That was the thing. If you
could see
abused
you'd
the
not at the
shit-
end because people were spinning like fuck towards the end of that.
Yeah, I was coming back at him. I don't know why he was very slow. Maybe he just pushed his tyres a little bit too much. I changed tyres.
Back markers,
As well.
man, they seemed a problem.
Oh, they were shit. What's his fucking name?
5 minutes on
Rob.
bed.
Oh, fucking
Yeah, we
Rob,
saw that.
Man.
We saw that. He blocked you a
He
bit.
just didn't lift, he didn't move, he just didn't
I'm
get
going
out the
to watch
way.
Tibbs' stream back tomorrow.
He was fucking sketchy as well.
I think we've had another Sully moment.
What?
And I don't know
He's
if you
second out
thought it,
drivers.
PM. But you know when you
What?
said Sully lost it on the grass?
Yeah.
I don't think he did.
Do you think he's straight lined and twatted?
I think he got a tap, and I don't know if he got a tap from Clouden or from Tibbs or from Jason Island. I think he's hit somebody.
As he
Well-
left, did he like hit someone and then leave?
No, just